Hey, we got more than one person here. Let's wait for a few more. DeWalt, XR, DCD 801. This came out a little more than a month ago. You know, with the fun stuff, you know, the kickback crap that goes down too quick. Well, versus Ryobi PBL HM102 with no anti-kickback. Okay. Well, I guess let's start this testing slowly. Okay. Ryobi Gen 2 hammer drill. Both these batteries have 21 center tablet cells, the Edge battery. Speed 2. Okay. Now, DeWalt XR DCD 801 with the beautiful anti-kickback that I hate. Okay. This one's pre-drilled too. Well, let's try another one with that. That's stripping out. Let's try to remove them. Okay, we all know that could do that. That's how small of a fastener. Now let's go with the Ryobi. Okay. We all know those can do it. Where did I go? 4 down. Okay. Let's try that over again, just for the hell of it, in case anybody missed it. This is the Ryobi Gen 2 HP hammer drill. Just came out about 2 months before the new DeWalt 801. And they both had tabless batteries, 4 amp. Okay. Now the 801. Try to find a cold one. Well, they're all warm, but let's go with this one. Let's try a better one. That's the one that's stripping out. That or I got that or this is one of these defective bits from Menards. You know, these bits aren't exactly the greatest. Let's take that off. We know those were about even. Other than an anti-kickback pissing me off. Okay. I wish I could turn it off. You turn it off on the Gen 4 Milwaukee. And you can also, I think, turn it off on the Bosch 1330. Okay. Now, let's go with something a little bit bigger. Okay? Anybody that misses what's going on, the Ryobi Gen 2. Anybody wants to know what it really is? PBL HM102. This is their Gen 2 hammer drill that's only available at Home Depot. With a 4 amp edge battery tabless. Okay? Now, DeWalt XR DCD 801. Everybody knows what this is. You know, watch. Anti-kickback. There it goes. You got the red lights behind you. The police just pulled you over and gave you a ticket for not drilling. Okay, I got nothing against DeWalt, but I wish there was a way to turn this off. On the 805 and the 800, you can at least turn it off. Okay. Now, let's go here. And Speed 2. Now, that's as far as that goes in Speed 2. Now, look where it is. Okay. Now, let's find the other one. Okay. Now, the Ryobi doesn't have anti-kickback. Now, let's see if I can push it. Now, look. Look at the difference. The DeWalt could not put it in as far. Hey, how's it going? Could not put it in as far. Now, let's go and put the Ryobi in Speed 1. Maybe I better do the DeWalt because that leg's kind of in my way. Okay. Now, it's right, the anti-kickback didn't kick in. Now the Ryobi. Wow. I don't know. There are sometimes I think this, to be honest with you, not wrong, Milwaukee, if you have the money. In the meantime, the Gen 4 Milwaukee hammer drill, 2904, they need to re-update that thing. To be honest with you, sometimes I can beat it with, well, not with, you know, you can beat the Milwaukee with the 1007 DeWalt. Okay, let's try to remove the opposite. If I can even do this. Okay. Now, put all my body weight on this. And I'm 210 pounds. It ain't moving me that easy. They're both about even in reverse in Speed 1. I don't want to try Speed 2. And there's no way Speed 2 would have worked. Okay. Now, let's go back and swing it out here again. I'd rather have a little bit of light. Okay, plenty of light. Okay, since we got that done, now this is, the 801 just came out a month and a half ago. I was one of the first ones to get it. The only thing I don't like about it, this. I mean, $805 doesn't have that anti-kickback crap. It's also a hammer drill, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, let's figure out what we're going to do next. Well, these are done. Now, we got 3 more sets, and then we're going to switch over to an impact driver sort of test. Well, I think we're going to go with these because they're shorter right now. Okay. At least they're both even. They're both, well, not really. Doesn't really matter. It's only a drill. In fact, anything, I'm giving the edge of the DeWalt. Giving the edge to the DeWalt. Or as I call this unit, well, I don't know about that. I'm going to be running the DeWalt DCF 840 versus the new Bosch impact drivers, just to show people that which one you'd want to buy. You want to buy Bosch impact driver or the old 840? I don't have the 845, sold it and sold the 887. Okay. Now, can't remember where I put that. Well, let's just go right here. We're going to stay right about here. Okay, that's where the DeWalt conked out. It conked. Okay. No, if it all boiled down to the Ryobi impact driver, it would smoke the 840 and both the Bosch impact drivers. Okay. Speed 2. Look at that. A little bit longer on the DeWalt. The Ryobi put it in further. Okay. Now let's remove the opposite. And that's on speed 2. And this don't have no anti-kickback. Ryobi doesn't have that. But it does have a handle that you could put on if you need it. But I'm doing this fair. Okay. Speed 2. Wow. Okay. Let's see if it'll even want to do it. Ah! Okay, let's back this a little bit further out. I can't believe this won't remove it. The DeWalt. Wow. Speed 1. Wow. Okay, now. Yeah, I know. Well, you see, but I think this would last you all day if you ran this all day for work. And if you brought this to the job site, the Ryobi, I think you'd get laughed out, but it probably could last all day. I wouldn't know. I don't know if anybody uses these on a job site, but hey, the batteries are both 4 amp 21700 cell and tabless. So you actually pay almost the same price. Ryobi's gone way up in price. I mean, way up. What do you expect? They're making better and better tools. This is leaps and bounds over the Gen 1. I had the Gen 1. I sold it. This is leaps and bounds. 100 more inch-pounds and more beats per minute in concrete. Okay. Now, we did that. Okay. Now, we're going to try a different test. Okay. Now, let's see about running this in. If I don't strip the head any further. Now, this is going to go the full length. And I think we'll run it in the same hole. Now, let's run it in something a little bit tighter. In here, it's too loose. Okay. Now, here's the Ryobi in Speed 2. That's about as far as that puppy wants to go. Now, I only have one of these. Speed 1. I'm sure it'll put it in. Now let's remove it. Okay. Okay. Now, let's put it on the D-wall. Now, we ran that. Let's run this one here. Now, let's go Speed 2 on it, too. Wow. Speed 1. Let's just put it in. Let's just put it in anyhow. And Speed 1. It won't even do it now. This is stripping out. Okay. Let's try to remove it. Let's try that again. Okay, that was here. Pretty sure of that. Make sure it's on the pin. We'll put it in Speed 1 and see if it'll even work. Forget it. It's stripping. Okay, let's just remove it. Only bad thing about these heads get wore out. Getting rounded off. Okay, now let's take that off. Speed 2. Speed 2. Well, let's go with the bigger holes. With the Ryobi first. Okay, that's as far as that'll go in Speed 2. These are all the same size legs. And I'm putting it in the same big holes. Wow, that's even less. Okay, let's go Speed 1 on the Ryobi. Okay. Let's go speed 1 on the 801. Okay. Now let's reverse. Okay. Using my body weight. Like I say, I think this is about as powerful as the 801, and it's pretty embarrassing. This is the bottom of the barrel at Home Depot. It's because no anti-kickback. Now, see, they both shift. And see, the DeWalt's always speed 2, the lever in back. The Ryobi's always speed 2 with the lever in front. So, now I got to figure what else to do here. What if I put drill bits and just drill here? And see what we can get away with doing before we move on to the impact drivers. Well, let me see what kind of drill bit I want to use. Back up so doggone close, John. Okay. I am going to put in the previous holes right up here. We're only going to go with 5/8 spade bit. I don't feel like holding it up there. Let's go further down. Let's go about there. Okay. Okay. Let's go with Ryobi first. Drill mode, speed 2. Let's try to put it right here. We buried it. Wow. Okay. We buried it. I'm going to wear a glove here. Okay, we good there. Now, let's go with the DeWalt 801. And the battery's still fully charged. It better be. It's a power pack. Wow, it won't remove it in speed 2. Okay. Somehow the Ryobi removed it in Speed too, and the DeWalt would not do that. That's kind of strange. More than kind of strange. Okay. Now, let me put this bit away. Or just let it sit out. It's hot. And that was a 5/8 bit. I honestly think the Ryobi drilled just the same as the DeWalt. Okay. We're going to end up going with some of this same stuff anyhow in here now. Okay. Now let me move this. Back up on top. Drills, I like to do it that. I'll use my body weight. Impact drivers don't bother me. Okay. Okay. Got this wood over here at Menards about 2 months ago because it had a big split in it. See it? Only paid $20 for this, and this is expensive wood for building a deck. They gave it to me for half price. And nobody wanted to buy it but me. Just got to work your way around because it's cracked. I like buying cracked wood because I'm not going to buy a grade A piece of lumber. How much is that going to run me? $50? Okay. They're already pre-drilled enough holes in this. They're all the same size. Now we're done using this end. Okay. At least for that. Okay. Still not feeling good. Okay. Now, let's move the camera further out. Now, let's see how far out we are. A little bit further. Or maybe we'll just work. Maybe we'll just work right here in the center. Yeah, we'll just work in the center. So I can move in a little bit tighter. We're done with the drilling anyhow. So now, let's see here. Okay. DeWalt DCF 840 came out, I think, back in 22, 23. You know, your speed on your finger. Okay. You'll be versing. The Bosch 1950C, this came out last fall. I was one of the first ones to get it. And the brand new GDR 18V-215 that came out a couple months ago. This is a little bit less power. And this was actually a better tool than the 845 because it didn't overheat. The 845 DeWalt XR spit more grease than a baseball player spits, tobacco. So I sold it to a guy. He wanted it. I didn't care. I got $50 for it. And I sold the 887 too. So, okay, let's see what we're going to run. We're going to try to run all the same legs. And we're going to kind of run this a little different. Because I do have, the power pack is still fully charged. I do have another power pack battery in case I need it. So, because each Bosch is going to have their own 4 amp 21/7 cell, but these are not tablets. This is. Okay. Now, let's not run anything small. Make sure I don't run anything small here. Okay. Those I'm holding on to. Okay. Quick collet, but boy, does this collet move around. As they say, this is German. They say this is more or less, this brand new one is kind of most like I said in Asia. Look how much space on that is moving, like the other guy. Let's see here. This doesn't move nowhere near as much as the, the 1950C. I got to think of the name of the guy's channel now. Tinker with Tools explained that. So they basically made one model of impact driver for the whole world, and it moves that. It's got that much slop in the collet. It doesn't really bother me too much. Okay, so we're going to split this test up. Let's pull it off, the more powerful one, because the GDR 18B 1950C has a little more power than the 215 does. Okay. Now, let's put it in the 840. Now, this has a quick collet for, you can get this impact driver at Lowe's, I think, for less than $100 or about $100 with a cheap battery, usually around Christmas. Okay. Now, these are pre-drilled. Brother. Let me get my glasses on and have my glasses steam up. Okay. Let's keep this in about the center. Let me mark the center so I know what I'm getting involved in. So, okay. It's about right. Okay. Let's run the newer model that has the sloppy collet. Look at that. Swear it moves. Look how much it moves. Look at that. Swear it moves. It's a 1/4 inch. Okay. Let's run them here. Maybe we'll do a race. Let me take this glove off. Power pack, tablet cells versus 21700 cells. Well, that wasn't even close. But by the way, guys, there's one other thing I got to say. That wasn't even close. The clamps on my workbench are on this. This one clears the clamp. Let's keep this further apart because the pressure on my workbench is putting on this wood. It's obvious. I know I've had that happen before. So let's redo that. Okay. Let's pressure. You got a clamp there. It's got enough clamping force to hold it, and it's putting pressure on the wood. Let's go down here. Now, since this is heated up further than this, Okay. Why won't this go? Let's redo that. For one thing, it's not even all the way in yet. Let's move them. Okay, it's a little bit slower, but it's not as slow as it was when it was there being clamped. Now let's remove them one at a time and remove the opposite. That's a hot one. Would help if I put it in reverse. It was still driving it. But like I say, don't forget, this doesn't have tabless cells. This is just your regular 21/700 cell from Bosch, 4 amp. And this, well, 4 amp power pack. So this battery's a lot better. Okay, let's keep going about that. Those are done. Maybe we'll run something else. Okay. We're not going to run in the middle. We all know how that works. Won't come out. There you go. You just knock it. A little warm too. Got an idea here. Let's move this all over to the side. Anyhow, we're going to do it against the better, more powerful one. Can't do it in the middle at all. All the pressure it puts. I found that out with impact wrenches too, you know. I was running high torques on wood and it was in between the clamps. It wouldn't want to do anything because you're putting pressure on it. A lot of pressure. Now, no pressure out here. None. Okay. Now, let's get those two again. Flags, that is. And let's try the other Bosch versus the 840. We're giving the 840 a break. Because I only got one 840. I don't have two of them. I got rid of the 845 and the 887. They were both, let me tell you, Facebook Marketplace, the 887 was 2014? 845 was what, 2023? Plus I sold a 1.7 power stack, and I sold a regular 5 amp hour. Plus I throw in a cheap charger, $160. A guy got $400 worth of stuff for $160. That's a hell of a bargain. But I don't care, because the 845 was a hunk of crap. It spit so much grease on it. I literally have a bunch of videos on YouTube with it spitting grease. And I never repacked it with grease either. I don't want to. That was DeWalt's problem, not mine. Okay. Now, let's try the other two. Okay. The 840 is actually passing up the other one. Now, this is the more powerful one. This is the GDR 1950C. Got a little more power. Okay. Now let's go here. Make sure that we got this in the shot. Nowhere near the clamp. Not many people think of that, but every time this table can clamp a lot of force. All it does is slow everything down. Not good. Okay. Now, the Bosch has an additional speed. The other newer Bosch that's slightly cheaper only has 2 speeds. And of course, the trigger finger is the speed on the 840. Well, the DeWalt still won by a hair. That's why I kept this DeWalt, the 840, and I sold the 845, because this has a slightly harder time spitting grease. That 845 spit so much grease, I thought it was a baseball player. Okay, let's remove one at a time. I dumped it, believe me. I must have spit grease in almost every video I did. What a piece of junk. This is a lot better to buy because it doesn't have the problems. Okay, now we're done with these 2. We're done with those. Okay. Now, let's see what's left. No, we're not going to run anything tiny. It's not worth it. Might have to put more holes in this for one. I don't want to leave this to last me for at least another 2 months. I'll just keep getting the holes bigger and bigger until I'm up to, up to a very large lag, like. Let's say in a couple months I'm up to this. And it actually would go all the way down. But I could still remove it if I were to go all the way in here with, of course, impact wrenches. I could still remove this lag, even though this is at 8 inches. Or I put something on the bottom. So those are the biggest lags I have. I did go online to a company that makes lags. Whatever you want, $50 a lag. It can be this big, this big. How big do you want it? $50. Not many guys want to buy those. I might buy 2 maybe when I get the money. And they'll make that look like a shrimp. That'll be for high torques. Okay, let's remove these. At least Bosch got into the realm of quick release. They're older models. Even the one that just came out, even though I hate this slot, but quick release. So at least they thought of that. They finally got into the 2020s. There is no play on the 840 with the collet. Better not be, it's DeWalt. Okay. Now, we're not running that anymore. Now I gotta find. That is for that. We're not worried about that. Okay. At least the 1950 doesn't have slop. It has got a little slop. But that other new model has too much. They're getting cheap, and they're not making this. They're not making a different impact driver for the different markets. Okay. No big deal. We'll let the Bosch have the much better socket, but it's not like we're driving really giant legs. All we're doing is driving these. They're not giant legs. And we won't run anything by the clamp. Because I kept doing that with high torques and like, man, why won't it go in? Because it's all the clamping force on the wood. Got to have a piece of wood so tall that way it doesn't clamp. But anything that goes down, you know, look at that clamp. It'll clamp the bottom. You know, people don't think of that stuff. I thought of that a while back, so no wonder why it doesn't want to work. Okay. I don't want to wear these. We'll stick right in this operating range. And we have 5 of them to run. And I will put the glove on to remove. Okay. Let us find another. Let's go with this. Actually, we can go right here. Keep them spaced apart. They look even. DeWalt. It's not even an XR. Just say DCF 840. Bosch. GDR 18V 1950C. Yeah, one little tap. Okay. Barely beat the DeWalt one, by not by much. This doesn't even have tabless battery on it. They're supposed to be bringing the expert batteries out this fall. Bosch, since they never released their plus cells, they're bringing the experts out. And let's hope they take on DeWalt. Let's move the opposite. You can tell the DeWalt has a little more oomph. Tabless batteries. And it's not spitting grease all over the place. Okay. Let's remove that. Let's run it on the brand new one that just came out with all the slop in the collet. Look at that. Unbelievable. The 215, I call it. Let's not even run the same legs. They're hot. Okay. Let's run 2 different holes. Let's run this one here. And this one here. Close enough to me. Okay, now it's a DeWalt DCF 840 with a 4-amp power pack, still fully charged, versus the Bosch GDR 18V 215C with their 4-amp 21/7 cell, but not tabless. All right, that's close enough. By the way, Ryobi has brand new sockets coming out. They're at Home Depot right now. Where they have a cutout, you can actually see how far down your fastener is going. I'm thinking about buying them. That way I don't have to sit there and play. I can just drive and watch it. Okay, now let's remove the opposite. I don't feel like touching it. Lost the cell on the Bosch battery. Hasn't lost anything on the power pack. Let's see if it still lost it. Nope, it gained it back on the Bosch. Okay. Now, wow, those are hot. Let's go a little bit bigger. These are done. That's stripped. How many we got here? Let's run 6 of them. Okay, it'll be chrome sockets, just like I used on the drills. Pretty hot too. Surprisingly, well, I'm making the 840 run the gauntlet, you know the gauntlet. 840 is pretty warm. Let's run the 215 first. Then we'll pony up to the more powerful Bosch. These are all both chrome sockets. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If I have to switch out this battery, I'll put another power pack on the 840. Okay. Now, we're going to run in the same big holes because I don't want to be, wow, that's a little hot. So is that. So is that. And that's even hot. That's cold. Big difference in diameter. Look. So we're going to run the same big ones. That way I'm not splitting this wood. So let's run. One here. One here. I don't want to split this wood. This wood's got to last me all till at least winter. I can keep running bigger and bigger fasteners until we run up to those ones I showed you. And the wood's trashed and it'll get cut up. Okay. Now, DeWalt DCF 840 4-amp power pack. This is the new Bosch GDR 18V 215 with their 8-amp 21700 cell, but it's not tabless, and this is tabless. This only has 2 speeds. This, use your finger. Okay. Didn't lose by too much. Now let's remove the opposite. Actually, let's let those stay in. Let's give these tools a break, then remove them all at once. Okay, let's find the 2 other big holes. I think here. Yeah, in here. Then we're going to go with 2 small holes and see what this will do. Okay, let's take it off the 215, which is a little bit less power. but I like the tri-lights. I don't like the light on the 1950C. It's got two lights, one on the bottom, one on top. The other's got the nice lights around the, the collet. And this don't have no play in it. I don't like this strap, but I'm going to keep it on it. Wow. Now let's remove the opposite. Actually, no, let's go with 2 virgin ones apiece. I only got 3 to go. What we'll do is we'll do 1 run for each one. Okay? Then we'll remove all this. Okay? Put this down here. And we'll time all this out. Let me get a newer one, the 215. I like this. Got tri-lights on it. Less power, but I also like the looks of the, the brushed nose cap. I don't like the black nose cap on that one. The only thing I don't like, all this play in the collet. That bugs me. Okay, let's go with virgin wood here. Let's run them all by one another. Let's put them all in. Let's split it. Okay. Now we're going to run all 3 units. We're going to run the 840 last. Then we'll remove everything. Okay. The Bosch DDR 18B 215 with their 4-amp 21/7 cell. Wow, that's hot. Against the GDR 18B 1950C. Okay, this is the DeWalt 840 with a 4-amp power pack. Wow, I honestly think the DeWalt is kicking Bosch's ass. It's a good thing I didn't bring out the 860. That would kill all 3 of these about half the time. Bosch needs to make a powerful impact driver. Something that puts out at least, how about they make one that puts out what the 860 puts out, 2,500 inch-pounds. That'd be one hell of an impact driver from Bosch. Okay, now let's remove. Well, this is warm. Let's give the DeWalt a little break. Now I'm going to wear my gloves, and I'm probably going to wear my glasses, since we got to remove 2, 4, 5. We got to move 7 of these. So that's quite a bit. We'll remove about 2 apiece. Say I don't like this slop. It's the collet. I'll tell you. But it works, so can't argue about that at least. And so far, it's not spitting grease, but it's not that warm. But after we remove 2 of these, I don't know. And so far, the 840 has got just a little bit of grease. What do you expect? It's How warm is it? Let's see. Let's see how warm this 840 is. Pretty warm. That wasn't high enough. Let me bring that back up. I got my other phone going so I can see. The collet. Okay. Wow. Okay, now I see no tyrant hunter. I go out and test our First and Second Amendment rights by recording and open carry my firearm. That's pretty cool. I got you, Second Amendment guy. I got my other phone going. I don't see your comment on my phone. That's kind of strange. I see your comment right down here, but it won't show it on my phone, but it shows it on my other phone. I think YouTube is taking away my rights to see what you have to say. I can't believe that. Wow, YouTube doesn't like guns. Of course they don't like guns. I'm a gun nut, but I don't dare have a gun channel. They got them gun guys on gun channels. They can't do anything. Never mind what they can't do. Can't do this, can't do that. If you do something wrong, they pull you down. After a while, they ban you from YouTube. That's effed up. Our First and Second Amendment are the two most important rights in the world. The whole world. That's why everybody wants to come to the United States, you know. Nobody wants to go to, what's that country? Venezuela. Nobody wants to go to Iran. Nobody wants to go to North Korea, do they? I don't see a line of people want to go to North Korea, do you? How about millions of people want to go to North Korea? Yeah, he'd like to have them come there. He gets more slave labor. Okay? I can't believe that they wouldn't let me see that. Oh, God. That's kind of effed up. Okay. Let's run the 215. Let's just run two at a time. Two random. Okay. Now, let's go with the more powerful. Bosh. You can tell it is. Okay. Now let's go with, I gotta take these off, they're steaming up. Let's go with the DeWalt. Oh yeah. You can tell this is much quicker. Okay. Let's go back to the 215. Okay. Let's see what the batteries say. Lost one cell on the GDR18V215. Let's see if it stays lost. Let's see about, nope, got a full battery on the GDR18V1950C. This is the more powerful Bosch. Let's see if the, nope, still lost a cell on the 215. Okay, let's see what this is at. Look at that, not a cell lost on the 4-amp power pack. This battery is leaps and bounds ahead of this battery. Both these batteries are the same. Just that one says fine, because you know you can adapt Bosch batteries to fine. And the other one just says Bosch. They need to bring out their expert batteries, make these tools as fast as this cheap $100 tool. You're never going to get these tools for $100. This you can get for less than $100 around Christmas. Still, that blows my mind that this guy in North Carolina tyrant hunter, I go out and test our First and Second Amendment rights by recording and open carry my firearm. Subscribe now so you don't miss any videos. And they won't let me see it on there. No, they won't. That is messed up. Boy, oh boy. You don't think YouTube censors? I like guns, but I'm not going to have a gun channel. Oh my God, you know. Those guys, 10 years ago, your gun channel, they let you do, 20 years ago, let you do what you want. Now you can't take a gun apart. You can't talk about anything. You know, they censor. So, well, right now, the 841, it'd be both of them. And this is, what, 3 years old already? A little warm. And the 4-amp power pack did not lose anything. Bosch has got to come out with that expert battery. Then these would stand a chance. This 4-amp lost the bar already. Bosch would stand a chance. It's a little warm. See, the black is fine, but I like this, the look of this a little better. So, but yeah, it's nice to see what people are talking about that I miss. They won't let me see that. I'll tell you guys. Okay, I won't be going live tomorrow. We're over an hour right now. I'll probably be going live later in the week. I got stuff to do tomorrow, and the temperatures are raising. Later in the week, I think it's going to start cooling down Wednesday and Thursday. So later in the week, we'll find something else to test. I don't know what. I'll figure that out. Maybe we'll move on to my high torques. You know, I got high torques, you know, a bunch of 3/4 inch drive ones. So a little later, and I'm tired, but at least the temperature and the humidity has gone down here in Illinois. Okay, Eric, the Bigger Tool Guy signing off.